Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into another incredible edition of the JP Peterson Show here on Hump Day, where we are your independent voice of non-corporate media, just spewing positivity and love to all my people out there. That's what we do here each and every day, and we are so happy to have IndyCarTim back from his weekly visit to the ER, where he is best friends now with everybody over there. How are you, partner? Good to see you.
You know, it's fun. First of all, I got to say thank you to everybody that showed me so much love on the FanStream Sports Studio.
You got a lot of love
on Facebook, and I got some messages on X and all that. I want to say thank you to everybody. That you don't know how much that makes me feel loved and makes me feel appreciated. It was just, I passed out in the middle of the night, getting up to go one of my 7 trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And my kid found me about early, getting up to go to school, and freaked out, obviously, and called an ambulance. And it was a big deal. And they decided my blood pressure was just super low. And I've been taking my medication and stuff, but they needed to, I guess, look at me yesterday and figure out what was going on. It's just one of those things, my problem with health and my blood pressure is I have naturally high blood pressure. Like my normal blood pressure is like 165 over 120. Like that's just normal for me.
Wow.
It runs in my family. So they can never get it down to where they're happy with it, even when I'm on medication. So when it drops down below what even normal is for normal people, it's frightening, because for me, it's twice as low as it should be. So it causes a whole litany of problems.
You may be better off at the 165 without all the drugs.
Well, that's where my normal, when I take my blood pressure reading, if it's 150 to 160 over like 105 to 120, I'm fine. That's what I aim for. So but apparently it was down around like 80 over like 40 or something. It was ridiculous when they tested me here. So I don't know. But I'm back. I'm good. I'm just a little bit worn out. I had needles in me, and they were poking and prodding me. And I was laying in a dark room I couldn't have the TV on. I couldn't have anything on because they wanted no stimulation around me. It was crazy, but I'm back, baby.
You're back. I'm glad to have you, brother. Really appreciate. It's tough to do the show without you, man. It's tough to do the show. I'm just gonna. And yesterday, StreamYard was not behaving, and I had to get the code from you. I'm like, this is not gonna. And an in-studio guest, and anyway. But it all worked out, and we had Hagan on yesterday, which was a really important interview on a big day for Tampa Bay. We're going to get into that. And right now, as we speak, Hillsborough County Commission meeting going on. Ken Hagan and all the commissioners will go over some of the funding resources that are available for the stadium, which we will get into. Also, Scott Reynolds is going to join us. He was at the Lightning game last night. I had the privilege to give him a little backstage tour with him and his lovely wife, Ashley. So we will chat with him at 10:30 and find out what's going on with Mike Evans, what's going on with Lavonte David, what's going on with the new OC, and all kinds of stuff that are going on. And he went to the Senior Bowl, so we'll start talking draft as well with Scott Reynolds. They do such a great job with the draft and the Senior Bowl and prospects. So it's that time of year.
Hey, JP, let me ask you this while we're talking draft real quick. Have you ever been a part of a, I guess, either any of the stations you worked at or doing your own stuff where you did a complete draft breakdown on your own, player by player, and broadcast the draft live as it was happening to whatever outlet? Have you ever been involved in anything like that?
Hell to the no. I like to play golf too much. It's spring here in beautiful Florida, and no, I'll be honestly there are many years where I never even watched the draft. It's so much bullshit filler and blah 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 blah. It's like high school recruiting. The old high school recruiting. By the way, happy National Signing Day that nobody cares about. We used to be the biggest thing in the world, and now it's like nothing.
Nobody even knows what's happening.
But it really, when you go and look at the hit rates of these draft picks, they're really no different than high school recruiting. The NFL draft is one of the biggest marketing, and you look at in terms of how much time we actually spend on it and how many of these players actually turn out to be impact players. The percentage is about 5%. of all the players you talk about and all this work that people do across, I'm like, let me wait to see if they get into the NFL and watch them play in this league and see if they're any good. Yeah. But I get all the hype, and everybody wants to know and who's going to be and what we can predict. And 95% of it is complete BS. Complete BS. Mel Kiper's created an incredible industry on being 95% wrong. I mean, get me a job like that. So no, I feel, and I get it, the excitement, and there are players that are going to have impacts and all that stuff. I totally get it. But for me to put that much time and energy into it is diminishing returns, because we have to cover so much here, right? There's so much that we have to cover. I wish I had one team to cover, and that's all I have to do, and I could, show up and have you cover everything else. Yeah. That would be great, but I can't do that because I work for the Lightning. We've been, I think, leaders on this stadium thing for a long, long time. That takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time. So we got to cover all these things, and I like to cover it myself. I don't necessarily, I want to look at it with my own eyes and everything, like being at the game last night and doing the bench interview with Darren Radish as he comes off the ice, which was really cool. And what's going on with the Lightning, which we'll get to here in a second. It's, so that's a long answer to say
no.
No, I'm not.
Look,
I will be playing golf in 65, 70 degree weather on that Saturday and Sunday, probably.
Because I've sort of dipped my foot into this a little bit in the last, 4 or so years.
Did I just diminish all the work that you do horribly?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because trust me, it's not something I want to get into. I have some very, very good friends. Norm Hitzges, for instance, does this every single year, and he has done it for 49 years now, not just doing his own board, but broadcasting all 3 rounds or the first 3 rounds on here locally on Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket.
Wow, that's
49
exhausting.
Straight years, by the way. He did this.
Jesus.
At his station in Dallas, KLIF in the 80s, somehow he talked the program director into carrying the draft live in the late 80s. On radio.
Wow.
The very first radio station in the country to do that was here in Dallas, and it was Norm. But Norm does this. My good friend Brian Broaddus, former scout, Super Bowl winning scout for the Packers, Eagles, Saints, played at LSU. I had a conversation with him this morning. He had some questions about some things, and his goal this year, he normally does 100 players deep in the draft, 100 players every year. His goal this year, 200 players. And when I say players, this is him watching tape. This is him evaluating. He goes back to high school with these guys and evaluates tape, makes his own notes, and then ranks them by position. And then we'll put all of these guys, and he's like at number 102 right now, and he's got until April, to finish. And I'm just like, and he does a weekly or a daily radio show on the Fan for 5 hours, and he does 3 Cowboys podcasts.
Jesus Christ!
I'm like, Brian, what the heck, dude? What do you do?
Yeah. Well,
you guys, I watch film, then I go have a drink.
Yeah. It's all interesting. We'll get into the draft. We got a lot of other stuff we got to get to today, but we'll get into it. But we're not going to do the minutia stuff here. We'll try to get the cherry pick the 5 or 6 players. I let Scott Reynolds do all that work. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
He's way better at it than we are anyway.
We'll cherry pick his brain, and we'll get the best of the best. So that's how we're going to cover the draft. So and other people do it great, and they do it other places. And if you're that into it, God bless you. Get on it. Love it. It's just not for me. All right, so let's get into this. I want to listen. I know you guys want to hear baseball talk and stadium talk and all that stuff, and we're going to get to that. I promise you. But I have got to start today with the Tampa Bay Lightning. The heater that this team is on is unprecedented. 18-1-1 points out of 19 of their last 20 games. Last night, they played without their top 3 centers. And won a most dramatic game with probably about their C- game overall.
Yeah.
As Cooper said in the post. What this team is doing, how they're doing it, the confidence they are playing with is comical. It really is comical. I mean, last night, and I wish we could show you the highlights, but every time we do, Facebook dings us for trademark and all that stuff, so we can't do it. But last night, I was actually watching the game in the suite with a bunch of Florida State marketing students that were down studying the Lightning and how they market everything. And Florida State Athletic Director Mike Alford was there when we're chatting and watching the whole third period unfold. And, Buffalo goes up 3-2 on a bad penalty that was taken by Douglas, and he was beating himself up after the game. They score on it, and they go up 3-2 late. And I'm like, yeah, Cooper's really aggressive. He'll probably pull the goalie here with, 2 minutes left. And of course, Vassie comes off, and now it's a 6-on-5. And I'm like, oh, by the way, they're going to score. They're going to score. Like, it's going to happen. I guarantee it, because that's the way they do it here in Tampa Bay. And I'm half joking, right? But I'm not, because I've seen this team play for the last month and a half, and they have when they have to score and do the things they need to do, they do it. I mean, by the way, 2.4 million people watching the Stadium Series game, the largest NHL audience of a regular season in history. It's just bananas what's going on with this team right now. So coming off that, you knew that there was had to be some type of emotional letdown. You just cannot be at the top of Everest, right? And then 2 days later not be affected by the climb. It's humanly impossible. So Cooper knows he's got to win this game, with probably he's going to get the C- effort, because the guys just have nothing left in the tank. But they seem to find it when they have to. It's just freaking insane. And what do you know? They're 6-on-5, and here comes a little flurry. Puck comes off the boards from the back. Kucherov receives it on the half wall, and just already knows where he's going with the puck, because he's 2 moves ahead always. And by the way, just an aside, Kucherov is playing at an absolute virtuoso level right now. I don't know if we've ever seen a run in the history of hockey with what we're seeing right now. I know there have been better numbers, but we get to see it with our own eyes every night, and it's just stunning what he's doing here against the greatest hockey players in the world. He is playing with them all. I mean, he is just toying with them. And then he's got this animal, Darren Radish, in this 98, 105 mile an hour slap shot, one-timer that is just unbelievable and has come out of nowhere. And he just feathers it to him, and Radish moves down from the point, almost to the top of the circles in the middle, and Brian Engblom, my partner on the post-game show last night, has done such a great job of explaining like how for the great shooters in the game, and he's been playing this, at such a high level, winning Stanley Cup since the 70s. The great shooters in the game, when they have someone that can pass them the puck, it's about a foot, maybe foot and a half, the area where you have to put it so they can get maximum velocity on it, right between their feet, right in that spot. It's almost like a pitcher in a home run derby looking for that sweet spot where you want to put it, right? And he is so good at it. And it's the velocity of the pass. The obviously the placement of the pass is so perfect. And he just tees it up for Radish, and he just steps into it. Boom. And you can't even see the puck go until you see the back of the net just almost pop out. And I tell you what, he's going to rip a net this year, and I can't wait to see it. And it's just high glove side, 25 seconds left in the game, and the place just goes crazy. We're going to overtime. And it's just it's such an incredible thing to watch. And I was down there for first of all, I didn't, if we don't win the game, I don't do the bench interview. So I'm like, but I'm like, I better go down there now because they're going to score. So I'm watching this from ice level right behind the bench. And when you see it from that angle, Timmy, it's just something to behold. It's something to behold. And so they go into overtime. Cooch, as he's known to do, turns it over, and they get a 2-on-1. And Dahlin's coming in on Vassie, and he just makes this incredible stick blocker save, makes 2 or 3 of them. And he was so good last night. Vassie was just insanely good. Buffalo could have scored 10 goals last night. So he makes a save. Now time is ticking down, and Kucherov, they get the puck in the corner. He's in the very back corner behind his net, right? Gensel starts leaking towards the offensive zone, and Kuch whiffs on the first pass. And so he has to turn around with his back to Gensel to get the puck and retrieve it. And as he's turning around, he never even looks, and he puts a pass right on the stick of Gensel as he's speeding down the ice at 150-foot pass as he's facing the opposite way on his backhand. And it hits him right in stride, and Gensel goes in and beats Colton Ellis 5-hole with 20 seconds left in overtime, and the Lightning win 4-3. Place goes bananas again. I mean, I just, and again, 18-1-1, 17 goals for Radish now. And it's just an absolute breakout season. And I interviewed him on the post afterwards, and I said his first question was, how hard was it to come down from Sunday night and then have to get up for the game? And he's like, I got to tell you, it was really, really difficult. It felt, the first period we kind of felt like we're skating in mud. It's just really hard to do, but we found our way. We kept it simple. Vasi kept us in the game, and we found a way to win. Yeah. And then it was like, how do you put this season in perspective from a healthy scratch for the first month of the season to now arguably the best defenseman in the league? His defensive metrics are at the top, and his offensive metrics are he's sixth most in the league. And this is a guy that was a healthy scratch for a lot of the games. Like, this is unprecedented. You guys, if you don't know hockey, this is unprecedented. This is like a guy being on the practice squad in football and suddenly, third in the league in touchdowns.
Yeah.
And all those touchdowns are like 40, 60-yard bombs. Like, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So, and then, just the weather. And I'm like, how do you put this season in perspective? He's like, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. And it just, what's going on with the Lightning now is just incredible. And, if John Cooper doesn't win the Jack Adams Coach of the Year award for that outfit alone the other night, just throw away all awards. Just throw
what
it
the hell
away.
was that? Please explain to me what the assistant coaches were wearing, because I still don't understand what they were supposed to be.
All right, so clearly, Tim, you did not watch the show yesterday because I had in my studio.
Sorry, I was in a hospital room somewhere.
Well, that's no excuse. I just really. So we actually had the clothier who does all the custom clothes for Lightning, and he also happens to be a friend of mine for 25 years, David Kahn.
Nice.
Yeah, great dude. And he came in and explained the whole genesis of the whole thing. So the coaches are known to go down to Ybor City and to the cigar bars there and have a few cigars. And, all those old cigar bars haven't been touched since like the 1930s and 40s. They're all wood and these beautiful, beautiful cigar bars.
Rich mahogany.
It's rich mahogany, yes. And it's like going back in time. And it takes you back to a time when all the great gentlemen of Ybor City, the Cubans and Italians, would put their suits on, their fine suits and their fedoras, and go smoke cigars in the cigar lounges all up and down 7th Avenue. And it's a real, classic taste of the Tampa legacy. And this is what this was all about. This was a nod to, Gasparilla, the Pirates, and the history of Tampa Bay. And so he wanted to create that. So a lot of people are calling it Tony Montana. It's not what it is. It's the 1930s and 40s gentlemen of Ybor City that would go out and smoke cigars and put their Sunday best on and sit around and talk and play dominoes. So
I was just confused by the Gasparilla theme, and I didn't understand what that had to do with Pirates and everything. So I meant to text you, but I knew you were there and probably busy. So,
yeah, so
I was just confused.
Confused about the Gasparilla as well?
No. I knew but I was confused why the coaches were wearing 1940s gangster outfits
instead of pirate
Gasparilla thing. Yeah, instead of the pirate thing. That's all. Yeah.
So it would have been. I think it would have been kind of silly of them dressed up as pirates. Might have been cool. I don't know. I mean, what kind of idiot would dress up as a pirate? And that was me. It was. So that was a really cool nod. And then the fedora, and then he walks out on the ice after post, and he's smoking the victory cigar on the ice with his family, which was another freaking boss move. So gangster move and fantastic. So
is John
coming
Cooper
off
the coolest coach in the NHL right now? Just as a cool cat, is he just the coolest?
Is there really a question about that right now?
Is there even a second place? Is there a second place anywhere?
He's first, second, and third. He's the best coach in the game. He is the he's the coolest coach in the game. He's the most human coach in the game. Yeah, I'm a little biased. It's really hard to oversell him as a human being, to be quite honest. All the stuff that he does for charity that you'll never see, and all the stuff he does that you do see. So much of what he does, he will not, he instructs the PR department, do not come take pictures. I don't want any information on this. This is between me and the family.
Yeah.
And he does that all the time. So 90% of what he does, you don't even hear and don't even see unless the families want to share it. And of course he'll let them do that. But no. So anyway, before we get into all the baseball and all that, the negativity that surrounds that, I just wanted to just really put a stamp of excellence and understand, I one of the things I try to do here, guys, is number one, keep it positive and fun. And because there's so much bullshit in your life now. And by the way, stay off social media right now. You're just killing yourself. You're just killing yourself. It's not going to change your life if anybody goes to jail. We'd all like to see it. We all love to see it. It's horrible, awful. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. But don't let it ruin your life. It's not going to change your life. Anyway, so we want to bring some positivity here so you can enjoy 2 hours of your life and not see all the bullshit that's going on. And we try to highlight all that. And that's what we're doing here today. And, it's what the Lightning is doing. And talk about bringing the community together, man. Look what we did on Sunday night. 65,000 people, another 10,000, staffers and media. And, it was such a celebration, not only of hockey, but and 2.4 million people watched it. It wasn't just us enjoying. I mean, it really resonated to the entire nation. And the pictures, the drone pictures of Tampa and all the different vignettes that were shown on ESPN. I mean, it's incredible, but it just fills me with so much pride. It fills me with so much pride to be part of this, and just even a small part. Timmy, I'm just going to get choked up right now. I'm sitting there talking to some friends out in the bowl, out of the sterile press box before the game, and I knew they were going to play our Lightning Hockey Night live because the NHL actually requested. They were at the games and they saw what we do, and they wanted to have parts of our production involved in the stadium. Yeah. And so they asked us to do it. They wanted us to do the full pirate. So we did it. Well, actually they wanted it. And I just said, well, let's just go full pirate. Right.
Yeah.
So John Franzone gave me the liberty to do my thing. And we taped it on Thursday night, and I'm sitting there in the bowl and it comes up and like people cheered. And I was like, wow, they actually listen. I didn't even actually know who I am and what I'm doing.
JP
and
fans.
And then, I come out in full pirate, doing the full pirate accent. And listen, it's a little nerve-wracking to make a stretch like this. I know it really is, because there'll be a lot of people go, what an idiot, what an absolute buffoon, dressed up like a pirate doing a stupid accent. I get it. And there'll be people like that. But those those people are, as we transition, those are the people that are like, the billionaires getting tax money and to get richer. And I'm not using my tax dollars to do that. I'm just sit here in my chair in the basement and get on my keyboard. And no, we're not going to do this. Get out of here. And you can listen. You want to be that guy. Look at that buffoon. You want to be that guy. And what are you doing? What are you doing to make the world better besides sitting there complaining like a jackass? What are you doing to build anything? All you people do is tear down. That's all you do. Negativity, tear it down, blast it. You suck. You're awful. You can't do it. Won't happen. Blah, blah. Good for you. And where's that getting you in your life? Nowhere. You're an angst-ridden loser. And I don't want to be too negative here, but that's where so much of this comes from. And you know what? You're never going to be a part of 75,000 people and celebrating a hockey game and crazy-ass Pirates with their shirts off, waving swords behind the goal and a 4-1, 5-1 comeback. You're never going to be any part of that. Now, you'll probably try to come in at the end and act like you were part of it, but you weren't. You weren't. When the stadium's built, you'll go there and you go, oh, this is nice. But you were the guy going, I'm not wanting any of my taxpayer dollars going to, because they spend that money so wisely. Yeah, you want to make sure that we have enough money left to fund the daycare centers that nobody goes to. You want to make sure you got that. So listen, and this is where we're at right now with the baseball thing. And then yesterday, it's really incredible because I was reading the Times, speaking of negative curmudgeons. I was reading their article today, and and it's when you watched it yesterday, watched the press conference. I don't know what makes people like just be completely negative about that. Here we and I was watching something on another channel that was posted, Timmy, about and it's really easy kind of to do this. I think it's a super lazy take, number one. But it's like, $2.5 billion, $2 billion price tag. Oh my God. And they want the public to come up with $1 billion in tax money so the rich can get richer. And, I just, where's this tax money going to come from? Why should the people be putting their tax money when this can go to roads and schools and all these other things that we so desperately need? This is just foolhardy. Why would we even be thinking about doing this? I don't see where we get it done. We got to come up with $1 billion of tax money, and they're going to put in $1 billion, but that's still $1 billion of our money. I just don't see how it works. It's like, so stadium costs, they pay X, we pay X. That's not good for the taxpayer. It's such a simplistic, lazy take. Now I understand we've talked about it. Well, we're going to take a rental car tax, which, by the way, isn't your money. That is, but it is, JP. We're taxing the people. We could use that for other things. No, there's taxes set aside for all those other things. We're creating a new stream of revenue to pay for something that, by the way, will be a public benefit, a tremendous public benefit. Now, you may not be a baseball fan, but you might go to the movie theaters there. You might go to the restaurants. You might live in an apartment there. You might get a condo there. You might get a job that pays for your lifestyle by building said condo. You might get a job in an office building that is creative. You might to say that there's no public benefit is completely wrong. Number one, foolhardy and not very visionary. And so I posted this morning. I'll just read this. Says, this is a very simplistic understanding of the situation. How much does it cost? What percentage are the owners paying for the stadium? The other funding is, quote, tax money from the people. That equals a bad deal for the people. Giving billionaires tax money to get richer. It's an easy, lazy take. It's rage bait. It gets people mad. That's why people do it on radio. I get it. Obviously, when you're talking about $6 to $7 billion project, there's a lot of nuance and financial understanding that's involved. People don't want to spend time or the effort to truly understand what's going on. CDDs, CRAs, SITs taxes, all different types of user fees, by the way, and taxes in terms that people don't understand. But the argument is the owners are actually going to spend $6 billion of their money, by the way, to create an entertainment district, housing, a college, by the way, they're rebuilding, and so much more that will create billions in jobs and tax revenue, by the way, in a spot where no tax revenue is being generated currently. Think about that. You say, well, we could use this money elsewhere. Well, you've not developed that property in 20 years of the CRA being there. That's what Ken Hagan said yesterday. We developed this Drew Park CRA, but nobody's ever built there because nobody had the vision to put a baseball stadium there. That changes everything. So if you want to sit there and say, well, we could use this money, you weren't using the money. You didn't create the money. They're creating the tax base that they're going to use to pay the public back. I know these are difficult concepts for a lot of you to understand, and you just want to sit there and go, I don't want to give billions to billionaires. But if you open your mind for just a second and maybe think of the possibilities, it's amazing what might happen. And this is what you get in return. You keep a baseball team here that many believe enhances your life. Do you guys get enhanced by going to Rays games? I do. I love going to baseball games. I love bringing the community together and doing things like this. Where else do we gather in 30, 40, 50, 60 thousand people? Nowhere. And all these user fees, rental car tax, all these things, if you don't want to be part of it, you don't have to be part of it. You don't. As I continue, doing things like this are hard, but the visionaries of the world and the movers and shakers and doers get things done. The complainers, the negative people build nothing except angst. I will choose the side of building great things, enjoying baseball games, bringing people together in an area to celebrate baseball, movies, concerts, things that bring joy to life. If you want to sit in your house and do nothing and complain, good for you. We're going to go build something that makes a difference in people's lives so we can enjoy the things that we like to do and get outside, be around other people, enjoy baseball, enjoy concerts and movies and all those things. And that gets done by people coming together in the community, as we did on Sunday night. Great things can be accomplished. And I understand some of you people don't want to be a part of it. That's fine. You don't have to be. But some of us would like to be. All right, I'm over time. Quick break. I got to get Scott Reynolds on here. I've been blathering all morning, so quick break. Thanks to all of our local sponsors that you see down there that are part of this great Tampa Bay area that we call home. We'll tell you more about them as the show goes along. Genesis of Tampa, Riveters, all the great ones, Italiano, Golden Diamond, Kingmakers, Third Generation Plumbing, Cafe Paradiso, and the rest. Back in 3 with Scott Reynolds. Stay with us. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. It's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucks play. We'll see you there. Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond, from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Almaton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
Let's go.
Right now.
Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Here as we roll on what has really become a historic week in terms of the Lightning and what's going on with the Rays. And by the way, we're going to get to the Rays press conference stuff in our second hour. We'll hear from Ken Babby, the governor, and the commissioner, Manfred. But right now, we're going to switch gears and talk a little football with our good friend, Scott Reynolds from the Pewter Report, who I was so privileged to welcome into my studio last night. There it is, repping the Tampa Bay Lightning colors. Boy, that organization is on a heater, unlike the one you cover.
I was going to say, lead off the show. It's fun to have a sports team that wins in town, right? Yeah,
we love the Bucs, and we've done our share of winning. Right now, it's a bit of a slog, partner. It's a bit of a slog.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, at least the Bolts got a win in the creamsicle uniforms, right? I mean, something the Buccaneers didn't do. So.
It took the Lightning to do that, huh?
Yeah, I know, yeah. But no, great win last night. It was great to see you, my friend, up there in the control center. Thanks for the studio tour, the behind the scenes
So
stuff.
glad to have you guys.
For Ashley and I, that was great. We had a blast. And of course, believe it or not, I actually called the Darren Radish goal.
You did?
I swear to God, you can ask Ashley, because I said Radish is going to crank one right here, and this was with about a minute left, right? Yeah. And then he did it, and he missed, right? And then I said Radish again, here it comes, and I swear to God, I called it. I was so happy with myself, and of course, I was happy with Darren Radish too, because he made me look good. And Ashley's like, "Oh my God, you called him!" I'm like, "Yeah, I know hockey, babe. I mean, I really
you do. You're learning your hockey.
I am learning
his hockey. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a special type of thing too. You know what that shot. You know, it's we tune in, right, to watch great athletes do great things, pieces of skill that, they've honed over 10,000 hours of, it is one of the great things about sports, Scotty, is, and you watch this up close and personal, as do I. We watch the work that goes into this, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these guys, for that moment to happen, literally, it's 10,000 hours of just banging shots in some cold moose jaw ice rink, where you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you dream of moments like this, and when they happen,
5 games in a row,
5 games in a row, and that's why when we celebrate it. So it's not just the moment; it's those of us that have been privileged enough to go behind the scenes and see what goes into it, and to see it come to fruition. It's pretty freaking cool. And
it is, and you saw me rocking my Victor Hedman jersey last night. I mean, Hedman, the God of Thunder, he's my all-time favorite Bolts player. I wish he would take more of those shots, because he's capable of doing that too. It's just,
he can't. It's his elbow that has been his.
Well, I'm not saying this year. I'm just saying throughout his career. Like, he's a great passer. No, you're right. And I know he's just been too kind. He wants to see Stammer. He wants to see Cooch get those shots point. He's a great passer for somebody his size, but I mean, he's also had those lightning strikes too. He can crank those in. I mean, how many times has he turned down those Darren Radish types of shots where he would have made it too? Probably more than we'd like to admit, but it's fun to see Radish just say, "I'm living in the moment. I'm going to crank this, and let's do this." So, but yeah, you're right about what you said, and that's why, like I called for Todd Bowles to be fired. Right. I admitted that. And I, on the day that he was announced he was coming back, I think I said it on Monday, and on Tuesday, it was announced he was coming back. I don't regret saying it, because I do feel this team needs a change. Having said that, guess what? My last name is Reynolds. It's not Glazer. I don't get to make that call. Right. So I'm
with you, partner.
Having said that, it's like, there are fans out there, and I understand it, and I don't shame them. Or, you can root for your team however you choose. You can root by showing up and booing. You can root by not going to games, right, and staying home and protesting that way. I'm at the point now where it's like, if you're rooting for this team to lose just because you don't want Todd Bowles to coach anymore, like I understand that, but also understand Baker Mayfield wants to win. If Mike Evans comes back, he wants to win. Yaya Diaby wants to win. Kalijah Kancey wants to win. Antoine Winfield Jr., Jalen McMillan worked hard to get back to win, right? Zach Robinson's coming in to win. Jason Light is going to draft players to try to help this team win. There's a lot of people in that organization that put in the blood, sweat, and tears that you're talking about, right? That are going to want to win. And I just think Buccaneer fans should remember that. Again, if you want to root for this team to lose, to eject Todd Bowles out of town, like I get it. And I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying.
Isn't it more fun to win though?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it more fun to there's a world where this team just goes out and has another great season with Todd Bowles as a coach. And, listen, I kind of said this on this show, Scotty, like, we're not going to talk about Todd Bowles should be fired or being fired anymore. We're just done with that. We'll point out his shortcomings when we're analyzing certain things. Absolutely. But we're moving on. He's going to be here. This team, we want this team to win. It's good for business, but it's more enjoyable to cover a winning team than a losing team. I don't know. Maybe for some negative people, they love to wallow in that shit, but whatever. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. And
no, I totally agree. And
there's a lot of positives. And hopefully Jason Light goes out and makes some moves. And that's why you're here to tell us about the Senior Bowl and the future of this team. The future. There is a future. Where we win games and bring in great players. And I've seen great teams, win Super Bowls despite maybe some questionable coaching. It happens. It's the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and O's. So
that's right.
Let's focus on the Jimmies and Joes now.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, I me, I'm a defensive minded guy. Last year was painful for me watching, just bad defense. And I like sacks, fumbles, interceptions, takeaways, big hits. And I want this team to get back to that. I was one of those people when I started covering the Buccaneers in 1995. The next year was 96. And then there's that little mini generation of Dungy Ball. Like I didn't mind Dungy Ball.
Awesome.
I really didn't.
It was awesome.
Because like the headliners weren't Riedel Anthony and Jacquez Green and Trent Dilfer. You had Allstott and you had Dunn, but it was Warren Sapp. It was Hardy Nickerson and Derek Brooks and John Lynch and Rondé Barber and Shelton Quarles, Brian Kelly, and then you had Simeon Rice. It was the
Greg
defense
Spires.
that made watching football fun for me, and covering this team. And so I didn't mind the 17-16 wins over the Packers or things like that, because that was just how they won. And I learned to love watching defensive football. And coming from Kansas City too, where I grew up watching the Chiefs, that was Marty Ball was the same way. Is that they did enough on offense to win with Christian Okoye, but it was Neil Smith, it was Derek Thomas, it was Jack Del Rio in the middle of the field, at middle linebacker, Dan Salyamua, a secondary that had Kevin Ross, Albert Lewis, Deron Cherry, just some studs. And so I just want to see Todd figure this defense out, and I want to see he and Jason get the right pieces, because Todd Bowles, we can't forget history. He did win a Super Bowl here with a defense that Jason Light constructed. Jason has done this before. He knows what it's supposed to look like. He traded for Jason Pierre-Paul. He swapped out Gerald McCoy, who was a very popular player, for Ndamukong Suh. He added Shaq Barrett. Now, he didn't think Shaq was going to be a 19.5 sack guy, and Jason will admit to that. But he figured Shaq would be a pass rushing threat, and he just turned into a Pro Bowl player, right? Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq, and Ndamukong Suh. He drafted Vita Vea in the first round in 2018. That was the front four that harassed Patrick Mahomes, and helped win that Super Bowl. And they've strayed from that. I think they've gone more towards drafting athletes, guys that run fast, that have high RAS scores. I'm talking about the Joe Tryon-Shoyinkas, the Logan Halls. Even though he's a back player, is Zion McCollum is more of an athlete than an instinctive football player.
100%.
Chris Braswell. These are some swings and misses, and I still have hope that McCollum can figure it out. I think better coaching will help him figure it out.
Totally
agree. But they've had some swings and misses in that defensive front, and it's cost them, because football starts. It's won in the trenches. You can have all the Winfields and the Tyke Smiths and all the exciting people on the back end. But if you don't win the line of scrimmage and pressure the quarterback and
toast
in this day and age, man, there's no 7-step drops anymore. Right. There's no 5-step drops. It's the ball comes out in less than 3 seconds. And if you can't affect the quarterback in that amount of time, you're going to get picked apart. So I hope for Todd Bowles' sake, he modernizes, tweaks, it gets his scheme a little bit more modernized. And then I hope that he and Jason Licht can find the right players. And there were some pretty good players at the Senior Bowl. I mean, I would start by targeting Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech, that Red Raider middle linebacker. I mean, he is an absolute stud. And they have 2 linebackers on their roster.
Couple of them at Tech. Yeah, David Bailey. David Bailey, too, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be in range to get David Bailey at 15, but I mean, I would take Jacob Rodriguez, take Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle. Those 2 would be a tremendous start. But they have 2 linebackers under contract. You have Servassier Dennis, who's and he's entering a contract year. And then you have Nick Jackson, who was an undrafted free agent on the practice squad last year. So Lavonte David is going to come back. I don't know. I don't think this team thinks that he's going to. They've left the door open, but I don't think they're anticipating that.
Do you think he should come back?
Me personally, no, I don't.
I agree.
Just because I want the final memory of Lavonte holding up that ball that he recovered to help win that game.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion, I want the fairy tale ending for him. I want the storybook ending, but it's not going to be better in 2026 for him. He's not going to get younger. He's not going to get faster. He's not going to get better. He's not going to get healthier. It's going to be progressively worse.
I agree.
As someone who's 53 going on 54, JP.
And I've heard this narrative I've heard this narrative that, well, he had to have his knee drained every game. And, that's why he wasn't. Guess what? Next year, he'll probably have to have that too.
Yeah.
You don't get healthier, as you get older. It just doesn't happen. We all love it. It's, sentimentality is a wonderful, wonderful thing, except if you're building a team for the future.
That's right.
You cannot make decisions based on.
You love Rondé Barber. I love Rondé Barber. My favorite Buccaneer player of all time. I was so excited when he retired. I was like, great career, man. Like, could he have played one more year? Yes.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Playing free safety.
But
of course.
I think that it's almost like this whole franchise, Scott, is stuck in that mud. It's like we're holding on to things that we wanted, of the past that we think are going to change and we hope that are going to change. And this might happen. Let's just wait and see. We'll still wait. It's this very conservative, sit back and wait type of mentality that permeates the entire organization instead of this. Let's effing go. Let's attack this shit. Let's change the stuff that's wrong. Let's get faster, younger, better, newer. Let's effing go.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not the.
Look at the Super Bowl this year, man. Look at the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sam Darnold on a new team takes this team to the Super Bowl. Mike McDonald in his second year takes this team to the Super Bowl. Flip the script. You have Drake May in his second year with a first-year head coach flipping double-digit losses into double-digit wins and getting to the Super Bowl. That's exactly what you're talking about, JP. Yeah. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's refreshing. What I mean by refreshing, it's not. Oh, it's refreshing. It's refreshing. It's freshening up what you're doing. Yeah. You're getting rid of the stale. And I just thought last year, from the entire second half of the season, was absolutely stale. I mean, I hate to say it, I made so much money betting against the Buccaneers on prop bets just because I knew they were going to lose games.
Yeah.
It's like if they're going to lose, I'm going to profit from this.
Damn right.
If I have to watch this shit. And then talk about it on a podcast for an hour and a half, and then write about it, right? And then go in and listen to players, talk about the loss. Like, it's depressing. I would much rather see this team win. It's more fun for everybody, even the media. They don't want to tell you that, but it is. It's more fun when this team wins because the fans are in a good mood. The city's alive. I mean, look at the Lightning, man. It's like, it just brings things to life. And, I covered the decade of darkness. I covered every minute of the Raheem Morris to Greg Schiano to Lovie Smith to Dirk Cutter. I've covered all of that, right? And then I've covered, obviously, everything since then. The Bruce Arians years, the Todd Bowles years. This is better. This is better.
It's way better
now than it was back then. So So I'm not rooting against this team whatsoever. I would prefer that it win, just for the sake of the fans.
From a player standpoint, you guys were talking about Lavonte David, and as a long-suffering Cowboys fan who has a GM/owner that has shown a history of being way too loyal to his own guys,
right,
and keeping guys way too long, right? When I'm trying to decide if I want to have a guy back, I don't care how long he's been in the league, if he's a stud, if he's not, whatever. My first question to myself is, okay, if he doesn't come back here, how many other teams are knocking on his door next year that are going to want him? So in that position with Lavonte David, Scott, how many teams are going to be banging down his door to sign him for next year?
I don't think many. I really don't.
So that should answer the question: should the Bucs bring him back?
Right, exactly. And look at Derek Brooks. The Bucs cut him, and I think Derek had an opportunity to go for like a really, really like chump change deal to New Orleans. And he's like, I'm worth more than that. But ultimately, the league tells you what you're worth. It's just a fact. It's a hard truth that a lot of these guys that are aging, that they want to squeeze every ounce of their playing days, whether it's for the love of the game or for the love of the money. And either one is fine because this is a profession, right? But the league will tell you what you're worth and when you're done. It's that simple. It's just, it is. And I would prefer Lavonte David go out now the way that he did with the win, the big game, tying the record. I mean, it just, we don't always get the fairy tale ending we want, right? We just don't in life, especially in football, right? I mean, you rarely win the Super Bowl and ride off into the sunset. Most of the time, your NFL career is going to end with a loss. Look at Tom Brady. I mean, his last game got his ass kicked. The Bucs got their ass kicked by your Dallas Cowboys. Okay. And what was his last game in New England? Got their ass kicked by the Tennessee Titans. He threw a pick six. Right. You think that's the way Brady wanted to end his Patriots career or his Tampa Bay career? No. He had a lot of great memories along the way, but look at the way it ended. It doesn't always end well. And so when you have an opportunity to sit there and say, 8-9 season, but hey, I won my last game. And I was Lavonte David one more time. Like I was that guy. I was the Flash one more time. And man, I made the play to help us win that game. That's a cool way to go out.
It is. I agree with you. And I hope he chooses that. But
I hope he chooses it for his health.
And if he comes back, I hope it's a great ending. But to your point, it usually doesn't end that well. We've seen it all. Mike Evans, as we're on this topic, I mean, you saw all the reports.
Yep.
You know him as well as anybody. What are your thoughts on what he's thinking?
Well, I think more importantly, I know Tony Pauline, and I talked to Tony at the Senior Bowl, like the day that story came out.
The report out that he wanted to go elsewhere.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't. I'm not at liberty to say anything more than there are some legs to this. This is not just who's this Tony Pauline guy? No. I know more about where this story's origin came from. And because I know that there are some legs to this, and that shouldn't surprise anybody either. Because remember, and I think Buck fans, when it comes to legends, they have very selective memories. And I'm a truth teller. I'm a realist, and that bugs the hell out of my wife too, because she wants me to be more of an optimist, and I'm like, baby, I'm a realist. I'm going to call it like I see it, and that's just how I am. We have to remember that at the press conference, when Mike re-signed for 2 more years in Tampa Bay, he admitted he was thinking about other franchises. Now, he didn't say what those franchises were. We asked him, but I think everybody kind of presumes it was Houston because CJ Stroud was kind of playing better. The upside was there back then. And Kansas City was another one of those teams, right? And the fact that he had to have a conversation with his wife, Ashley, great name, by the way, right? To figure this out tells you that 2 years ago, this was on the table, right? Before the 2024 season, him leaving was on the table. And think about this. He was 2 years younger then, so he'll be 33 this year. So he will have been 30 entering his season at age 31 2 years ago. The arrow was pointing up for the Buccaneers. They had gone from 8 wins the previous year in 2022. And in that 2023 season, they won 9 games. They won the division again. They beat the shit out of the Eagles, right, in the wild card game. And then they went and they were tied into the fourth quarter at Detroit. So there was hope on the horizon. There was the arrows pointing up for this franchise. Baker, had that resurgent year in 2023. He had a rapport with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of reasons for Mike to want to come back to Tampa Bay at that time. Now, fast forward it. He's going to be 33 this year, right, in August. This is probably going to be the last contract. I don't see Mike playing past 35.
No.
Maybe he does, but 35 kind of feels like it's a one more 2-year deal. And so this is it. And what's the trajectory of this franchise? It's 8-9. Like, are they going to bounce back and win 10 games? They could, but is it likely? I don't know, right? I mean, all I hear from Mike in my head is 3rd and 28,
Yep.
Todd Bowles is still back. Mike knows this defense sucks right now.
Yep.
It just does. It's soft and it sucks. And he knows that.
Yep.
The problem is the timing of all this. Jason Licht can have this great plan. He can say, Jason, listen, before I need to know where I'm going to sign, whether it's back with you guys or entering free agency, what's the plan on defense? And he's going to say, well, we're going to trade for Nick Herbig. We're going to trade for Max Crosby. All right. Well, the problem is you can't make those trades until free agency starts.
Right.
Okay. And when free agency starts, Mike is going to be courted by a lot of these teams. And is Mike going to wait to sign somewhere to see if all of these dominoes fall in Tampa Bay's favor? Because as he's waiting, other teams are not waiting. They're throwing their cash out to other receivers and all of this. So I'm just saying the timing of this is a little perilous because Jason and Todd can go to Mike and say, here's the offseason plan. We're going to draft these guys and we're going to sign these guys. The problem is they don't know they're going to draft those guys.
Yeah.
Because the draft didn't happen for well over a month.
And you still have the same guy managing the games. Yeah.
So I think what I'm saying is a lot of Buccaneer fans, because they want Mike Evans to return, they in their mind think, oh, it's Mike Evans' retirement. He's going to come back here or he's going to retire. He would never play for anybody else. Mike witnessed Tom Brady leave the Patriots. And granted, that was a mutual release, but he left the Patriots to come to Tampa Bay. And what did he do? He won. And he created 2 little legacies, one in New England, which is his main legacy.
Yeah.
And then the little cottage legacy he's got here. Like he's got the mansion in New England. He's got like the little beach house in Tampa.
A real beach house. Yeah.
Right.
A nice
one.
one.
Yeah. So, but he has witnessed that. He's witnessed seeing Brady come as the missing piece to that Super Bowl puzzle. And I just wonder if Mike is wondering, can I be that missing piece that helps the team get to and win a Super Bowl somewhere else?
Right. Yeah.
And here's the reality. The reality is it's February 4th. So we have about 33 days or so until the start of free agency. I'm sure Mike does not know right now which way the wind is blowing. I'm sure Mike right now has thought about leaving Tampa Bay and about staying. And this is probably because this is going to be a very hard decision one way or the other. It's going to take some time for him to come to that answer. And it, like all free agent deals, it's probably going to come down to the wire where he's going to have to put up or shut up and sign with the Buccaneers or some other team. But the other part of this equation is, what do we know about the Seattle Seahawks? They have a good offense. They've got a really good defense, right? What do we know about the New England Patriots? They got a good offense. They got a really good defense.
Really good defense. Yeah.
It takes 2. It takes the offense and the defense to get to the Super Bowl. You have to have both. In 2002, take away those 3 pick sixes by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John Gruden's offense still scores enough points to beat the Raiders, even without those pick sixes in that game, right? Yeah. We saw Tom Brady put up 3 touchdowns in the first half, but damn it, the Chiefs couldn't get in the end zone at any point in time in the game. It takes both. You've got to have an offense and a defense to do that. And Zach Robinson might be the second coming of Liam Cohen. He might just instantly, boom, hit the 30 points per game button, boom, 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 and this team scores 30. But that might not be enough if this defense doesn't get fixed.
Yeah.
And we saw Liam Cohen in that offense underwhelm against the Commanders, only put up 20 points, and Todd Bowles' defense couldn't get off the field.
That's right.
Couldn't force a punt, couldn't get a takeaway.
And the way that he managed the game killed him.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
So there will be a lot for Mike to talk about. This is not a slam dunk. Oh, he's going to be back. Oh, Baker's going to convince him to come back. I think that that ultimately that might happen. Ultimately, Mike just say, you know what, I'm going to just stay a Buccaneer. I'm going to go wire to wire like Leroy Selman and Mike Allstott and Derek Brooks and Rondé Barber, and I'm going to be that guy. And hopefully Lavonte David, right?
And there may not be the market out there for Mike that a lot of people thinks that there is. You know, the hamstring issues are real. And is there another team out there?
I think there is, JP. Just remember, you had the New England Patriots willing to pay Chris Godwin $26 million a year coming off a broken ankle.
I agree. But
there will be a market for Mike, especially with this massive jump in the salary cap, where every team's got another $20 million to spend. So there will.
That's true. There'll definitely be a market. I'm not saying there's not, but
I don't.
Somebody throwing $35 million a year at him? No.
Yeah. But Mike has never been about the money. He really hasn't. He gives so many millions away. It's just,
I'll say this.
It's going to come down to this. Does he want a legit shot at another Super Bowl ring? Does he want
maybe just a little different experience at the end of his career? Right. I mean, he's been there, done everything. And listen, there's continuity and then there's complacency.
Yeah.
And we've gone from continuity in the offense is good to complacency of the whole organization. Yeah. And he may be tired of that. And I've got a 75 comments that just came in about 3rd and 28 and him screaming about him. Yeah. And his body language tells us he wants out. And I have also got some intel from some very good sources that echoes what you're saying. I think it's very real that he wants to go elsewhere, is going to explore it, and may have done that if not for his wife saying, no, we're not doing this right now.
Yeah.
Listening to his wife, which is a good thing.
I think he wanted to last contract.
Oh, he did.
And I think he got talked into staying by the wife, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. And it may be, honey, this time it's going to be my decision. And we're not going to uproot the family. I'm just going to go play somewhere else for maybe a year or two.
Play for a year. Yeah.
And guys do it all the time. So, we'll see. I think it's 50-50. I really do. I think it's 50-50. Maybe 60-40 going.
And here's the thing. I hope it doesn't happen. I would love to cover Mike his entire career like I did Allstott and Barber and Brooks and David. I mean, it would be a gut punch. It would be. But I can't fault him for this team, this defense sucking and this team not being Super Bowl ready. And that's partly Jason Light's fault. It's partly Todd Bowles' fault. Because every draft pick Jason has on the defensive side has Todd Bowles' fingerprints on it. Mm-hmm. I mean, they work in unison. He's not going to draft the defensive players. Say, Todd, here you go.
Right.
He's going to say
he's got to quote fit that scheme, which we all think is garbage. Yeah.
So has
not evolved.
I hope, because we talked about it on our Pewter Report podcast. If Lavonte David retires, it's going to hurt some Bucs fans for sure. If Mike Evans leaves and Todd Bowles stays, like that is the nightmarish trifecta that will. I mean, boy, if you're the Buccaneers, you better trade for Max Crosby, or you better hit a home run in the draft to turn the fan base around, because, or you better hope the Tampa Bay Lightning just win the whole damn thing and just be a fun distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, partner. Listen, I know we didn't get to a lot of Senior Bowl stuff. Will you come back next week and do that for us?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I would just say this. There were some good edge rushers there, not great ones, but Nadeem Tucker is a guy that we had in our mock draft, Western Michigan pass rusher. Played at Houston for like a couple of years, just didn't see the field, and then goes to Western Michigan. He's a bit of a dog. I like this kid. He's got an edge to him. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Shaq Barrett. Undersized, fiery first step, but more of like a fiery guy. Shaq was great, but Shaq was just like always smiling, and this guy's a little surly. He's more like Jason Pierre-Paul, but a smaller version. But he's a name to keep in mind. We had him in our mock draft in our first one, and he made us look good. He made us look like, oh, wow, yeah, you want to be on the Buccaneers, don't you? Yeah, come on down.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Scotty, great stuff. Scott Reynolds, PewterReport.com. Go read all the stuff, all the podcasts and everything on their YouTube channel as well. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. All right, we're going to get to all your comments here, and we've got some great stuff from yesterday's press conference that I want to get to as well. So lots coming up in our final hour here. Do not go away. We are brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing, our new sponsor, Pitch Roofing. You can go to pitchroofing.com. If you're looking to get an estimate on your roof, that's where you need to start. Folks, I know these guys. I've been to their office, chatted with them, hung out with them. Good dudes. And whenever it comes to stuff like roofing, there are a lot of unscrupulous characters running around ripping people off. And this is why you got to go with the groups that are accredited by the Better Business Bureau and have all the licensing and everything and the great reviews as well. And one of the things I love about Pitch is when they come out and give you an estimate, they're not only going to give you an estimate, and I guarantee it won't be the lowest one, but it'll be the best one, because they're going to educate you on what it takes to make a quality roof, one that's going to last. This is not something you want to skimp on, folks. Trust me on that. But they give you great value, and they give you the assurance that they're going to do it right in a professional way. And here's a bonus. If you go and get an estimate right now, you're going to go into a drawing for 2 tickets in the Mark Club, which is where we do our studio, and I'll give you a backstage tour along with those 2 tickets. Plus, you get all the great food, the great drinks, and everything. It is the best place to watch a Lightning game, so you'll be in the sweepstakes to win those 2 tickets. They're big Lightning fans as well at Pitch Roofing. So go to pitchroofing.com, see all the 5-star reviews, and get an estimate and get in the running for those 2 tickets in the Mark. Pitchroofing.com. All right, back at 3 with all your comments. Stay with us. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now.
Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on. Don't forget, over at the Golden Diamond Source today and up until Valentine's, a great promotion going on. Buy one, get one 40% off. Buy one, get one 40% off at the Golden Diamond Source. So get your shopping done now. You can get a lot of value right now with the buy one, get one 40% off all throughout the store. So get in there. Well, the selection's always good, and they're always getting more stuff in. So, but it's always good to shop early for Valentine's Day. Get the best selection, get the best prices. So head on in there. Tell them JP sent you. And of course, if you're looking to get engaged, you got to get a real diamond, folks. You don't want something that was created in a lab 2 weeks ago, right? You want something that took hundreds of years. What is it? Hundreds of thousands of years to make diamonds, right? That's what it takes. So get something beautiful and unique and wonderful at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmington Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Get over there now. All right, Timmy, you want to jump into all of our wonderful comments here today?
JP, sources tell me, breaking news, sources are telling me right now, this is live on the air, that we don't really know how long it takes for a diamond to form, but scientists believe anywhere from 1 billion to 3 billion years.
Jesus. And so you're getting great value for the time it took to make that thing,
right?
That's what you're saying, yeah.
So there you go.
All right, Alejandro Noriega, who I saw last night, finally met in person. Say good morning, JP. What another great day we had yesterday as Tampa Bay fans with both the Rays and Lightning. I'm still shocked the Lightning were able to come back and beat the Sabres. It was electric, and I want to thank you to meet you and get a picture after the game. It was amazing. Again, I wanted to thank you, brother, for that, and I appreciate you. Keep up the great work. Now, I appreciate you guys, and I tell you guys this all the time. And Alejandro came up while we're doing the post-game show at Cigar City, which we do after every home game. So if you want to find me, I'm always there. I'm always walking around the arena as well. So when you see me, come up and say hello, please. And let's take a picture and we'll post it and do all that stuff. It means a lot to me when you guys do that. You're not bothering me. Trust me. I love it. So come up and say hello. If you ask me for money, then I'll kill you. But other than that, Bell says, JP, Timmy, happy hump day, Peterman crew, everybody, that's her support group.
Yeah.
Glad to be here for you, Bell. We're glad to be here for you. What else we got? Yes, the Hillsborough County Commission meeting is going on now. We'll update you on that. Thomas Casper says Kucherov has gone alien mode. Tampa Bay guy says, Tim is alive. Tim makes hump day.
Tampa guy.
Yeah.
I never miss hump day.
Yeah. JS813 guy says, I've never been happier to see Tim. Glad you're back in action, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's good to be here.
This one from Mike H. They should end the Pro Bowl, instead have a bowling match or something. I watched for 30 seconds and turned it off. Luckily, I was working last night, so I didn't even have to be tempted. But I saw Winfield made the game-saving interception, was the defensive MVP. Oh, great. Finally made a play.
Wait, so the Pro Bowl was last night?
Yes, the Pro Bowl flag.
I had no idea,
last
JP.
night.
I honestly
saw the highlights on ESPN this morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Jamar Chase made a really cool interception, one-handed. That was good.
Wait,
Joe
why
Burrows.
is Jamar Chase making an interception?
It's flag football. You go both ways.
Play both ways?
Yeah, if you want.
Oh.
Sure. Which is actually interesting to see.
Yeah, okay.
So Jamar can always look at his defensive back and say, you saw me playing Pro Bowl. Dog, I could do your job. Easy. Danny Boy says from Pransky, a.k.a. Shadow of Stadium this morning, the thing everyone in Tampa misses when glorifying the Brave Stadium is what a bad deal it's been for taxpayers. We know that's false. Pransky added, I understand the propaganda is alluring, but there have been actual studies on the fiscal impacts there. Shame Tampa refuses to learn from them. They've learned nothing from Atlanta. It's so funny. Because this gets brought up all the time. And go do the research on the people that are doing these studies. Okay, they're all people that have lived in academics all their life. Never got picked on the high school basketball team or anything. They hate sports. And I've seen the ones done on the Brave Stadium. And I've also seen other reports done on the economic impact. And you can go through a lot of different numbers and jump through a lot of hoops and restrict the economic impact to certain, taxes that come back. But like for this one that was done by Kennesaw State, they never took any of the For instance, there were 10 office buildings that were built in and around the Braves' new stadium, not on the plot of land that they actually bought. So this is the halo effect of a ballpark, what happens around it. For the previous 15 years, there were no office buildings built in Cobb County. I know this is right across from a big office complex where our station was in Atlanta. And then all the ancillary stuff that has gone on around the stadium, and not to mention all the money that has come into the Battery in terms of those taxes the CDD taxes and CRA taxes that we're going to use for this ballpark as well. A lot of that revenue is never counted towards the quote economic impact. And they'll always say, oh, well, people would have spent it in other places of Atlanta. They just came and spent it here in Cobb County. Well, that's true, but that money still goes to Cobb County to pay back the bonds that they floated for the stadium. So, I mean, here's how I measure it. All right. I've had Sandra Golden, Mike Bell, Dave Art, all these people come on this show from Atlanta that I work with, that work in the media up there and live there. And I have a lot of friends up there that live there. And I have a lot of people that run businesses that were impacted by this. And I have a lot of people that run businesses that are impacted by the events that happen here in Tampa Bay, the sporting events. And I ask them about these studies sometimes, and they just laugh. They just laugh at them, and they say, so you're telling me you want me to tell you the economic impact of the bowl games and all the things that go on at Benchmark International Arena here at my Splitsville place? A guy, Revel, good friend of mine who owns the Splitsvilles. And he just laughs, and he goes, I wouldn't even be close to being in business if it weren't for all the events that we have here. Like everybody in the Channel Side area, like none of us would even have a business. All the stuff that's been done in Water Street, but all anchored by the concerts and everything that happened with the Lightning. It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. Like, so why do you think they built that stuff around the arena down to the Water Street? Just because, were there people coming down to downtown Tampa before the arena was there? No, there weren't. There weren't. It all coalesced around the arena because Jeffrey Vinnick was smart enough to buy the real estate around it and to do a public-private partnership. And you have a $3 billion development that has totally changed the urban core of Tampa and rebuilt the skyline, doubled the skyline. I mean, Raymond James Stadium. You know how much we paid for Raymond James Stadium? And it was a bit back at the time. It was, oh my God, or what do we get? Yeah. We're going to, it was $190 million to build that stadium.
90, what was it, 96? 95?
Yeah, 96. Yeah. $190 million. And it barely passed, right? And look back on that. Hosted 3 Super Bowls. It's the reason the Bucs are still here. If we didn't pass that, the Bucs were leaving to where? Orlando. And people thought there was an astronomical number to give to the billionaires. It's the greatest deal in history. It's the greatest deal in history. And not only did the Bucs stay, but bowl games, national championship games, Super Bowls, truck pulls, stadium show, all Taylor Swift, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff that is that. Do the Glazers make money off that? Yeah, they do. They do. But guess what? We get to go. If we didn't have a stadium, we'd have none of that. We'd have no NFL football, no national champ, none of it. And now, guess what? Because the Raymond James Stadium is there, they're going to build a baseball stadium next door and take advantage of all that infrastructure and build a $6 billion entertainment district and mixed-use project right there. And by the way, these owners are putting in $6 billion of their money to build all this. The county, the public share is $1 billion, lots of money. Certainly I can scare people off with that number if I wanted to, but that's also money that is going to come back to the taxpayers 2- and 3-fold. Not to mention the fact that you have an asset like the Rays that I like keeping. I like having a Major League Baseball team in my town. I think it makes us better as a city. It gives us excitement. It gives us a lot of things to watch and do and celebrate the players and come together like we did with the Lightning. You just want to piss away that and let it go to Orlando and let them enjoy all I get it. And it's just so easy and lazy to go, whoa, you're billionaires. You're giving why can't they afford it themselves? Well, they could probably, but why would they when they could just go to another city and probably get more money?
And look, here's my retort to people who bitch about the cost of a stadium and that the billionaire owners don't just pay for it themselves. Like to your point that you just made. Well, they have billions of dollars. They have billion-dollar corporations behind them. Why can't they just build the stadium? Because the stadium is not for them. The stadium is for us. It's not his stadium. It's our stadium. It's the city stadium. It is an investment for the city for all of the reasons that JP just pointed out, especially if you're going to host a Super Bowl or 5.
Yeah.
And all of the other things that stadium will attract. And then the entertainment area that will grow around that stadium. It's not for the owner. That's not what it's for.
They're going to make money off it, though, Tim.
Yes, of course, because it's his company. It's his business.
And they're taking the risk. They're taking the risk. You know?
It's just like if we're going to build our new FanStream Sports World Headquarters in downtown Tampa. All right. Yes, it's for us. But you know what? We provide a service to the listeners and the viewers and everybody. We're going to go to the city. Hey, we're going to build a $500 million world headquarters, which, by the way, may be coming. Just not today. We would like some subsidies and some help to offset the cost of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's going to complain about that?
Well, I don't know if this is
people that are complaining about stadiums.
Right. But again, it's if you're telling me we only have to spend $1 billion to get $7 billion in stuff that we're going to use,
boom,
I'd say that's a pretty good deal. And I'm going to get my $1 billion back.
Yep.
Okay. That sounds like, I mean, you want to break it down to something simplistic like that. Why would you not do that? And so you'd rather see them go to Orlando and do it or someplace else. And you're going to save and by the way, if they don't spend it on this, they're going to spend it on something stupid. Trust me on that. Yeah. I know.
They'll spend it on something else you don't approve of.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't, and by the way, as far as Noah Pransky goes, the dude got run out of town for almost getting his station sued, allegedly, for really crappy reporting. And yeah, so that guy's a joke. And he's still pissed off that I told him that was never going to be built in St. Pete, and he thought he was right. And he's been wrong about everything. And now he keeps putting this shit out there on social media, and people still believe it. The guy knows nothing. He doesn't live here, got run out of here. Stop reading his shit. And it's ridiculous. And again, these academics that sit in their little cubby hole and come up with these reports, you want to believe them, or you want to go down and talk to the business owners in the Battery or Texas Live or any of these other places or Channel Side or what they're going to build here with the Rays. Go talk to people who actually put their money into it and hire people and do the business, as opposed to some schmuck who's sitting in a basement at Kennesaw State University. I mean, if you want to throw those things out, oh, look at the research, the economic. How about you walk your ass down to the Battery and look at it and feel it and watch it and talk to people that actually enjoy it. And they come on this show and they go, oh my God, it's the greatest thing we've ever built. It's fantastic. And by the way, the Braves use the money from that. I mean, I have an actual concrete example. If you're all about winning in baseball, the Braves took that money, $134 million in their first year of extra revenue, and put it into Charlie Morton, who we couldn't afford. We could afford it, but our cheap ass owner wouldn't spend on after going to a World Series. They took the money, built the project, took the money, and won a World Series. I mean, I wouldn't look at Atlanta as a template. That's a failed deal. Oh, is it? Is it, academic geek? Is it? Because I saw 3 million people show up at the ballpark and win a World Series. I would say I have some proof that you're wrong. And it's very tangible proof, not something that lives on a page because your nerdy ass figured it out in some numbers that you can manipulate any way you want. I got freaking proof. 9 million people went to the Battery last year. Hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes that have been raised. Hundreds of billions of dollars in halo effect of economic activity in the ballpark area. Millions and millions of people that have enjoyed things like this and watching the Braves and bringing that community together. You may not think that means anything. That's what I'm interested in. You want to go count your little shekels and save your little monies and put it towards another bike lane, you go ahead and do that. I want to build something grand and beautiful that everyone's into. That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to support. Moving on. Joel Forsland, good morning to you, says, only thing worse than draft coverage is 2 weeks of these clowns talking about the Super Bowl. Timmy, have we mentioned the Super Bowl once?
Not one piece of game analysis at this point has been discussed on this show.
I'm so excited to watch the Super Bowl. It's going to be super fun. I love the whole thing. It's great. It's fantastic. We have so many more important things to talk about in this community. By the way, programming note, the former mayor, Bob Buckhorn, will be on our show tomorrow for an hour. He will be in the studio tomorrow for an hour from 10 to 11 tomorrow. And by the way, he's going to be the next mayor. So, and a
former mayor and future mayor. He's pulling a Trump.
Mayor, future mayor. Yeah, odds are that he's going to be the next mayor, and he will oversee basically the build. If we do all the things right here. So he's a very important person in this, obviously, and he's been in full support of this. And obviously, like everybody else, and I'll let him speak for himself tomorrow, we got to see the numbers. And and another caveat to this, and I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. We don't know what the final details look like. And until we do, we can't have but a final word on this. And if it's a boondoggle like the St. Pete deal was, I'm going to come out and tell you that. But all the things that we've seen so far, it's nothing of the sort. And again, remember this, Tropicana Field, that site right there, that real estate, okay, there's no doubt that we have 9 developers that have been chomping at the bit to get at that and pay big money to develop it, all right? Drew Park has been sitting there in a CRA for 20 years, as Ken Hagan said yesterday, and nobody has developed it. So don't come at me with, well, what about the property that we could have sold that? No, you couldn't. Unless you're building a baseball stadium there, it's not worth crap. So thank you to our new owners for choosing that site and making it worth something now. See, that's the thing. When you choose to bring the baseball team there, it brings development with it because people want to be part of it. Just like in Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., which they put in a horribly blighted area and is now blossomed around it. It's lower downtown, Lodo in Colorado, where Coors Field is. Same thing. Houston, same thing. Arlington, Texas Live. Well, I don't know if they built around it like they did. Yeah. That wasn't a blighted area, was it? I don't know. But yeah, they've built 3 stadiums, right, Timmy?
It was a housing. Yeah, it was a housing. It was from the 40s. It was a housing neighborhood from the 40s is what was there before.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? Rick is in this morning. Said, thank God you're okay, Timmy. Welcome back. Now, when will your episode of Sex Sent Me to the ER prison purse extraction happen?
Unfortunately, this was not sex involved, or trust me, that would have been the first thing I would have revealed here. Rick had another really funny comment that I'm sure you'll get to that I have to retort to when you get there.
All right. You can put it up anytime you want, though. Feel free to jump right in. A Buck in 2020 says Kucherov had the worst 4-point game of all time. I think you're right. We were all laughing about that at the post-game show. It was like, did he end up with 4 points? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah. But he made the big plays. The way he facilitates everything that happens on the ice is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could here's something fun. And this is you can only do this when you're at the game because obviously television restricts what you can see. Just watch Kucherov when he comes on the ice. And sometimes he touches the puck so much that he'll be part of everything because everybody knows everything goes through him. But just watch him. Don't watch anything else. Just watch the way he moves, the way he prepares himself to receive the puck, and already knows where everybody is and where he's going with the puck. It's pretty amazing. It's kind of a fun deal. Do that sometime. Not for the whole game, but for part of it. Bell says, glad you're okay, Tim. And yes, many people do have relatively normal high blood pressure all the time. They need to be honest about that. Many people have that and could just be that's what you're normal.
Yeah.
This is something I've been reading about.
Especially depending on your diet.
Cholesterol, high blood pressure, all these things, everybody's different in their body. You know, this idea that one size fits all for all medical questions is really kind of silly. And when you talk to doctors, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I've learned by reading that this is true. Some people's normal levels are just higher. And when they give you drugs to take you to this artificial, a lot of these, quote, normal things are deemed normal by who? Big Pharma. So, so they can sell you statins to get it down to what's normal. And I think it's smart for you to, talk to your doctor and say, is it more risk being on some of these drugs that have tons of side effects, or we just managing it in other ways, or it being okay? How do you feel? How do you feel when your blood pressure is at 150? You feel okay, right?
Yeah.
So to some that may, oh God, you got to get that down. And then they go take all these statins that do a lot of worse things to you.
Yeah, because trust me, statins have side effects. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and none of them are good for me. The comment I was talking to was from Richie, not Rick. My apologies, Richie. And it's a $20 super chat.
Yeah.
High blood pressure plus hospital equals Timm trying to master the middle-aged balancing of Cialis, medium rare steak twice a week, and a honey half his age. JK, bro, glad to see you doing. I'm doing well, and I will tell you, Richie, 2 of those 3 things might be accurate.
Yeah, and are good for you, and are very good for you, by the way. Right. I may be so bold. Rick says, JP wants a job to be 95% wrong. Are you going back to WDAE?
Fit right in.
I'm going to star that one. All right. I'm not going to put up a lot of this jackass's stuff. Not you, Danny, but the guy you're talking about. Says Shadow of Stadium mocked the success in Atlanta, saying it was only a success to the wealthy fans, investors of the Braves and the Braves, while failing the taxpayers, locals, and fans on a budget. I love this part of it. So the people of Cobb County aren't Braves fans? You don't think most of the people in Cobb County are Braves fans? Yeah, they are. Yeah, there's a lot of people that that don't like baseball, and some of that public money was used for it. But if I'm not mistaken, by my calculations and by other people's calculations that aren't that don't hate sports, that money has been returned to Cobb County, the $300 million that they paid a couple times over, or will be in the 30-year life of the stadium. So, and from a yearly spend, they're bringing in well more revenue than they allocated out, way more. Let's see. Joseph, one just came in. It's an update on the meeting, so I want to get to that before we hit the break. Where is that one? About Ken Hagan. I'm going down to the bottom here, and it's refreshing. At the meeting today, I can read it. Hagan says the total raise investment in the HC area is $8 billion to $10 billion in the meeting. That's big. Yeah. Again, so you're going to give me you're going to lend me $1 billion. Okay. It's the taxpayers. We're going to lend them $1 billion. And then we're going to get $8 to $10 billion in development. That's going to produce. And by the way, that $1 billion that you're giving me is not coming from property taxes. It's coming from rental car taxes and user fees. That's a freaking no-brainer in my world. I don't know about y'all. Sorry. We got so many comments coming in. All right. Here's some Buck stuff. Never had a chance. Said Todd has been here 7 seasons and the defense sucks at covering the pass every year. Truth. He also said 3rd and 28 screams. New Mike knows Todd's defense sucks. Yep. King Cook says Buckin facts. He went from all those trash quarterbacks to Brady, where he got a taste of the high life and accuracy. Back down to Baker, was consistently inaccurate. That's the frustration I see too. Listen, Baker was extremely accurate this year until he got hurt with oblique knee injury, oblique injury, shoulder injury. To say Baker was inaccurate, I think you'd have to go look at the 2.5 years before the last half of this season with the 71% completion percentage. That's pretty accurate. Now, was he as accurate as Brady, the greatest to ever do it? No. But I would challenge you to find a more accurate quarterback than, Baker. Yeah, and there's a couple around, but, you got to get there. They also have receivers. They got to pay you. One of them's coming off an Achilles injury. Will he still be that accurate and be able to run around like he used to in Patrick Mahomes? So, King Cook, man, I know I love you, brother, but the Baker hate, I'm going to push back on. He's not perfect. None of them are. But I think he fits this place pretty damn good. And with a decent defense, I think the Bucs will be all right. Joel Forsman says, depressing is a great word, which is why I can't watch in 2026. If anyone thinks Todd is going to modernize, you're lying to yourself. Yeah, it's a stretch. Richie P says, Trevor Sikkema is really liking Jake Golday, linebacker from Cincy, 6'4", 240, good PFF coverage grade. He's saying that Cincy just didn't use him correctly. Well, that's not a shock.
See, that's the thing here, too, though. Do you want to – I know in Todd Bowles' system you need coverage linebackers, but how long is Todd Bowles' system going to be here? Is it just going to be for this year? You don't want necessarily a coverage-heavy linebacker for this defense because this is probably the last year this defense is going to be in place.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And I don't have anything against Golday. I mean, I think he's good, but he's more of a pass coverage linebacker. So if you think you might be switching to a different type of defense next year or year after next, then you got to take that into consideration if you're Jason Light.
James says Baker thinks Mike will come back. That's good enough for me. That's what he's saying publicly.
Does he know?
He doesn't know.
Or does he think?
And that's what he's saying publicly.
Right.
He might be saying something else privately. A little tidbit there. Not that he's lying, but a little tidbit. James says Glazers did not pick Bowles over Mike. Come on, it's about money, and I'm sure the Glazers will take care of Mike. They can redo other deals and keep Mike. Yeah, they got the money for Mike. Cap's going up big time. His salary's not going up, by the way. He's making 22. It's not going up.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay him more after coming off an injured season at age 33. Now, someone else may. And listen, if Mike leaves because someone is going to pay him $30 million a year over the next 2 years, when the investments that we have in our wide receiving core, if you're going to tell me I could take that money and spend it on Max Crosby, I'll spend it on Max Crosby. And I love Mike Evans. He's the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
And at some point, sentimentality has to take a backseat to future production if you want to win in this league and address your deficiencies. What else?
He's had a good run. It might be over. He's had a good run. It might be over.
Alan Thomas says, you seem to keep forgetting the Bucs beat the NFC champs in the orange. That was not the orange, my friend. That was the white with the creamsicle. The full creamsicle is still 1-7. Well, are they 2-7 now with the Lightning win? And that was, I fully
does that count?
It took a while for the creamsicle stench to wear off, about a period. and then the Lightning beautiful gear that they were wearing kicked in. Again, we love the creamsicle. We just don't want to play in it.
Why do you think they picked the creamsicle to arrive in? Obviously, that was a conscious decision. Where are the creamsicles?
I gotta ask that question. I have not.
I was wondering that when I saw it.
I mean, it's
I love them too. I'm not disputing it. I loved seeing it. And by the way, how much different do hockey players look in football uniforms than football players in football uniforms?
Really different.
They look like a bunch of middle schoolers out there wearing oversized pads.
It was like a bus full of kickers getting off the bus. They all look like kickers. I think it's probably like everything with that outdoor game. It's like, all right, we're going to show up in Bucs gear, full Bucs gear. Okay, great idea. How can we take it to the next level?
Right.
Bucs gear, creamsicle. Yes. That's probably what went down. But we could have worn the white creamsicle.
Yeah.
Which I think looked better. I like those better. That's just me.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. What else we got here? I'm going to get to some other people. Mosink 7388 says, good thing JP wasn't a negative curmudgeon about the Ray St. Pete deal, SMH. You think you got me, but you don't. No, I was negative about that deal because I was positive about building it in Tampa. See, it's not being negative when you raise the red flags and say, this is a mistake. We're making a big mistake here. We need to build it over here. That's not negative. That's being smart and positive to do it the right way and not the wrong way, and understand that that deal was a boondoggle to the taxpayers. And I'm here to tell you, by the way, we're the Rays putting in their own money to build the $6 and $7 billion the area around it. No, they were farming that out to Heinz to pay for, and we're going to sell that land to Heinz and let them take the hit on that and pocket that $700 million, in my opinion. So, all right, we got to take one more break, and now we're going to come back and hear from the governor, Ken Babby, and all that cool stuff, and the rest of your comments. So, quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. They got a big Super Bowl party coming up on Sunday. Go to riveterstampa.com and find out all about it. Their new St. Pete Riveters is coming soon. Can't wait to see that. So if you're looking for a great place to watch a Super Bowl, great food, great IPAs made right there on the premises in the microbrew, that is the place to go. Riveters Tampa, great staff, indoor, outdoor, going to be perfect weather. That's the place to be. Riveters Tampa, just north of 275, right there on Dale Mabry. Don't forget about their sister restaurant right across the street, Boda, a fresh Mexican drive-in. Got a nice little dining area you can eat in. Really quick Mexican casual, great value. They got a lunch deal, 3 big tacos for $12. I love that. I'm going to do that today for lunch. So head on over to Boda right across from Riveters, but always the place to go to watch all sporting events. It's riveterstampa.com. Back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Timm May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Omerton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey folks, Rays baseball and the summer heat will be here before you know it. So don't let your AC unit strike out and cost you hundreds or thousands for an emergency repair. Get a 1-year maintenance plan from Third Generation Plumbing and AC for just $169. Though will come out twice a year and service your unit. Clean the drain line, make sure it's running to peak efficiency. If you need an emergency repair, it's going to cost you hundreds, if not thousands more. It's a no-brainer, guys. Just call the great friendly folks at Third Generation. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling to ensure you have the most efficient and durable units. Their split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. So choose my guys, John Rodriguez and PJ, at Third Generation, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. Don't wait for the emergency that'll cost you thousands. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now.
Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on. Big thanks to our great sponsors, Genesis of Tampa, doing great things in the community. Last month, they were giving away a portion of all sales to USF Women's Soccer. They're a big supporter of women's sports. And, by the way, if you want to get a great car at a fantastic price, which is kind of what it's all about when you go buy a car, no better place than Genesis of Tampa. The value of these cars is absolutely incredible. I invite you to go check it out at the website and then go on down there and take a test drive. It's always something fun going on down there, giving stuff away. Heard them talking here in the building today about what they're doing. I'll get all the details and pass it on to you, but just trust me, it's always a cool experience to head over there. Tell them JP sent you. Even if you're not going to buy a car, take a test drive and see what it's all about. You might be surprised how nice these cars are and the great value that you get at Genesis of Tampa, another one of our great local sponsors. Thank you very much.
Hey, real quick, JP, before you jump in, want to bring the room down just a minute. I would like to ask everybody to think the good thought for our very own Jeff Thidoff, whose mother passed away last night, as I became aware of during the break.
Prayers out to you, Thidoff.
Yep.
Good man. And I don't know if you heard it, Timmy, but Big O's mom passed as well this past week, and he's lost his mom and his dad in the last 4 months, I think it is. So,
Lord.
Yeah, and by the way, just incredible parents. He tells me stories about them all the time. You know, they were born and raised in Cuba, got out, brought him over. What a great, incredible success his life has been in baseball and broadcasting and everything. So, yeah. And had they stayed in Cuba, which, by the way, for those people who are interested in turning this into a socialist country, take a look at Cuba.
There you go.
Yeah. Communism, socialism does not work. So, don't be brave. We got a lot to fix in this country. I ain't saying we don't, but that ain't the way to fix it. All right, let's hear from some of our wonderful politicians. Speaking of our government, how about let's hear from Ron DeSantis? Play me something from the Gov about how great Tampa Bay is for baseball. The press conference yesterday.
All belongs in Tampa Bay. Baseball can succeed in Tampa Bay. And so we're here with to say that the state is going to be supporting this proposal to use this HCC location to be the site of the new stadium. And part of it is, and we'll have President Atwater come up and speak about what it means to HCC. I think it has huge upside for HCC about what could possibly happen in this area. But I also think the Rays leadership, they have really thought hard about what you need to succeed in this day and age. And the reality is, like, I'm a baseball purist. I think people should just want to come watch baseball. But the reality is you do need other things to draw people. You see what they did in Atlanta to have the shops and the restaurants and the hotels to really make it a place where people want to be, even if they're not diehard baseball fans. And that vision is very compelling. And it's been a vision that has been created in part by studying some of the things that have happened around the country, what has worked, what's not worked. And so I was very impressed to see how they're thinking about that. That's just what you need to do. Now, it also
love that, recognizing the fact that you got to do something more for baseball. It is what it is. Yeah. And that's why, go around the nation. This is exactly what these guys have done and seen what works and what's the best of the best. And man, I would like to see some appreciation for them instead of all the negativity about them soaking the taxpayers. Like, God, if I were them, I'd be kind of pissed, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. The negativity is just off the charts. And I know it comes from the local media. And that's why we're trying to give it a little bit of balance here. And by the way, the Tampa Bay Times wrote a huge article when we broke the story that was going to be the site. They went out and talked to people on campus and wrote this sad sap story about what a terrible thing the Rays are doing by tearing down Hillsborough Community College. Okay, and when the deal is finally done, Dr. Atwater is up there saying what an absolute home run this is for Hillsborough Community College, because they had a bunch of old buildings that cost so much money to maintain. They needed, and they probably wouldn't have got funding any other way.
Right.
So, yeah, keep being negative and keep having egg on your face.
Do you want to hear about what DeSantis said about local taxes?
Yes, I would love to hear that, as a matter of fact.
For something similarly creative to help fund this project?
We're not doing any taxes at the state level. We've never done a tax since I've been governor, and I got another year left, and so just you guys can take that to the bank. We will not do that. Now, well, first of all, how could I do that? I mean, think about it. Like, that's my inclination philosophically, but look at Florida's fiscal. When I became governor, we had $1 trillion economy. Now it's $1.8 trillion. We've cut tax, we've eliminated business rent tax and other things like that. And yet you look at our revenue from the most recent month, we came in $500 million over estimate. And that's not because we're taxing people. It's because we've created a good environment. We've paid down 180 years as a state. If you take all the taxpayer financed debt that we owed, we've paid off 50% just since I've been governor in 7 years. We've tripled the rainy day fund. We've done all this. So clearly from the state level, we wouldn't be needing to do that. But it's like, the president comes and asks for appropriation from the legislature. I think he's going to be more successful in the future because of what they're doing with this project. And so I think their potential, goes up, dramatically as a result of that. And, that'd be, how those appropriations come. I mean, I've been very generous to our universities, and Weatherford knows that. I mean, so the USF, which is good, and I'm happy to do it. I've been supportive across the board. And we brag about we're the top rated public university system in America. And it's true, we have been for a number of years. But our state college system is ranked usually number one, but certainly very high. And oftentimes they're doing programs that may be even a little more applicable to people's ability to earn an income and to be successful when they get out of school. So I've been a big supporter of it. We've done a lot of different things. But I think this is the type of thing, like when people see a compelling vision, if you're a legislator and you see this as something where you can kind of help, rather than rehab an old building, let's reimagine, I think you're going to get a lot of support.
Boom.
See, there it is. It's like you can look at it from a simple standpoint. Oh, it's just going to use the taxes. No, you're creating revenue that is then taxed. Okay. You're people coming into rental cars. If the state kicks in a huge part of it, it will be a rental car tax that is placed. Okay, so well, that's a tax on me. Really? Are you going to the airport and renting a car? If you live here, probably not. You might rent a car locally to take a trip or something, but it's rare, right?
Yep.
And if you have to pay an extra $5 to do it,
so what?
That's that we can't have a stadium because of that. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? And
so JP,
go ahead.
I was going to say, while we're on this topic, you asked me before we came on the air about how we funded Ranger Stadium, the new Globe Life park here, which opened in 2018. And here's how the funding broke down for everybody, because I feel like this is very, very similar to what's about to happen in Tampa. All right. In May of 2016, the Rangers and the city announced plans to replace the Rangers' home since 1994. All right. That November, the voters of Arlington, where the stadium is, approved a 0.5-cent sales tax, a 2% hotel occupancy tax, a 5% car rental tax to help finance stadiums for the Rangers and the Cowboys. The city's contribution to the Rangers ballpark was capped at $500 million, with the agreement that the team can't relocate until 2054, with renewal options that will keep them around until 2064. The Rangers then secured $600 million in private financing towards the ballpark to be paid back in part through a 10% ticket tax and $3 parking tax, and $11 million received annually from naming rights to the ballpark. The Rangers then also privately developed a $250 million entertainment district adjacent to the ballpark. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, here's another workaround. The Rangers donated a parking lot to the city of Arlington so the city could lease it back to them for $10, allowing the team to avoid paying property taxes and shove maintenance costs to the city.
Yeah.
So there's workarounds for all of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt the rest. And you know what? The people, this, like I said, we've built 3 stadiums now in 40 years, and it's all in the city of Arlington, and the citizens love it every single time because it does nothing but grow the city.
Do they complain about sewer systems and education that's not being funded because they spend it on stadiums?
No, you know why? Because the Arlington's educational system is one of the best in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Even
because
with 3 stadiums.
Because which, by the way, it was a sleepy neighborhood full of nothing before they built the Cowboys Stadium and all these other stadiums.
With no value to the city because these homes were built in the 40s. They weren't worth anything. It was a rundown neighborhood. And then the Rangers and then later the Cowboys came in and redeveloped all of this. And I don't want to hear about the people who lost their homes. Trust me, they were compensated very nicely for their property when Jerry Jones came in and did this. So it's good for the city. And for people who continue to not understand that, you are not listening or you don't want to listen to the facts.
Yeah,
that's the only story.
Exactly. And there are going to be people like that. All right, I want to hear from Babby. I want to hear from Ken Babby, Ray's CEO.
In the coming days, you'll see the first renderings of our new development and ballpark, the new forever home of the Tampa Bay Rays that will serve as a catalyst for this new community. It's a bold vision and one that belongs and befits to this opportunity.
Oh, I thought there was more to it, but apparently not.
Yeah, a catalyst, a bold vision. Yeah. Again, Drew Park is worthless without this group saying we're going to put our baseball stadium there. I mean, you're not going to get any tax revenue. It won't exist. Now you're lending $1 billion, so they'll put $6 or $7 billion in to build all this out that clearly benefits the community in unmeasurable, lots of different ways, and jobs and building, construction costs and everybody that's going to make money off the construction of it and then the use of it. And then people have to work there. What community would not love that? You have all these other communities that are willing to spend $2.5 billion just to buy the team to get an expansion team. And you're getting it for nothing. Have some effing vision, people.
Unbelievable.
Crazy, right? All right, let's hear from Manfred. The commish.
The key to the economic success of most franchises is a partnership between the community, the local government, and the team. And I really do believe that there is a great opportunity for this new ownership group to come together with local government, the college, and form the kind of partnership that can make the Rays durable and successful here in the Tampa Bay region. So today's an important day. It's a milestone along a path that I believe will lead to the Tampa Bay Rays being a part of this community for decades to come. So,
and in closing, look, you've got the commissioner, babe. I know a lot of people, I just don't see how this gets done. And DeSantis, it's just, there's too much money. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of money. You got to spend money to make money.
Money motivates.
Yeah. And these, again, if the Rays could pick one of 6 cities to go to do this in, but they've picked Tampa Bay because we've invested in this team and they've built a fan base over 30 years. So let's not screw up this opportunity. And I'm just saying, if you're negative, I think you're very narrow-minded when it comes to the bigger picture here. And just looking at it, and I heard Charlie Miranda on Channel 28 last night, and we love Charlie, but he's just going to be that guy. I don't want to give billionaires tax money so they can make more billions of dollars. It's such a myopic, narrow-minded view. And nothing would ever be built, Charlie, in your beautiful city of Tampa Bay if that was the view, because that's not the way it works anymore. Public-private partnerships are the way to go. And if your city doesn't do it, 10 other cities are waiting in line. Why do you think they're all waiting in line? Because it brings money, it brings capital, it brings tax revenue, and it enhances the place that your constituents live. So stop being such a curmudgeon, Charlie. And I know you're going to vote no. You'll vote no. I'm not going to change your mind. But people that are listening to you, I think you just need to have a little broader vision. That's it. Yeah. We love you. We just disagree on this. That's all. All right. So tomorrow we'll have Bob Buckhorn sitting right next to me, and we will be chatting about the future. At least, and I'm here to tell you, this is not some guy that wants to start throwing money at billionaires to come to his city. He knows he's got a lot of different challenges that are on the table, but he also understands what this brings and how positive it can be for the city and how they can create revenue for the city. And that's what they're looking at. And that's why people are so excited about it. The smart ones.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry we didn't get to every comment. We have 2 hours, and gosh, I really appreciate you guys jumping in, and everybody reads them, so it's cool. Yep. And so it's not going to waste. So please keep it coming. Just because we don't get to read every one of them every day, I apologize. So tomorrow, the Mayor Bob Buckhorn will be here. So please join us at 10 to 11. Get your questions in, and we'll do a question and answer session for him in the final 15 minutes. What your questions are, or 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Have a great day, everybody. Timmy, great to have you back, my man. Really appreciate you. Appreciate all you Petermans. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.